Hey beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your likes, for your support, but please, you guys, leave me a comment now. Let me know that I'm not talking to robots, and that you're really understanding and getting value from my videos. So please guys, I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment. Thank you so much. So today's tutorial will be on how to get a perfect butt lift for your mermaid skirt or gown. The videos playing now, you can see my mannequin is wearing a hip padded tight, right? But the other lady on my right is not putting on a hip pad, so don't think it works with only a hip pad. You can, if you watch this tutorial, you should be able to contour your mermaid skirt perfectly, right? Miss Right touch on my thumbnail, she wore a hip padded tight as well. So without much further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. Welcome back guys. So these are the measurements we'll be using. So since my mannequin is putting on a hip pad, we'll be using the padded hip measurement. So first things first, you want to put on a leggings or a tight, then put your tape on the side joining of the leggings, right? My mannequin's tight is kind of loose, so I'm just following the hip pad. I'm touching the hip pad joining and I'm following it, right? So that is what you should do from one sideline to the next sideline. That is your back hip measurement. Then to get your front hip is your total hip, round hip measurement minus the back hip. So since I'm putting on, my padded hip measurement is 43.5. My back hip is 25.5. So my front hip will be 18. But if I'm not using a padded hip, without the padded hip, my mannequin's hip measurement is 40.5. So what I'll do is measure the back hip and minus it from the original hip measurement, right? So after doing that, you go ahead and take the waist measurement, making sure it's very firm. Let your waist be firm. Then the next measurement is the hip line, from your waist to the hip line, the fullest part. You can use your eyes to gauge it. The fullest part, that is your hip line. Then you measure it. And we also take the round hip measurement. Remember, if you're not putting on a padded hip, use your original hip measurement. So let's get right into the drafting table. So to know the box width, for your drafting, it's your individual hip measurement divided by 2. So we are trying to draft the front. So our front hip is 18. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. So our box will be 9 inches. So you go ahead and mark 9 inches, from top to finish. You do the same for the back. The back hip is 25.5 divided by 2 is 12.75. So when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. So for now, let's draft the front pattern with our box of 9 inches. So the next is our hip line measurement, which is 10 inches. Go ahead and mark that and roll them out into a straight line. So guys, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're getting value already from it. Thank you so much for your constant support. So the next measurement we'll be taking is our knee measurement. I don't measure my waist to knee. I just rather do 18 inches. Then if you're tall, I do 19. It gives you this fullness, and it really comes out full and well. I don't know how to explain it. So guys, just go ahead and try it. So take the waist measurement of 6.25. Then instead of connecting it down to the hip, I come up by 1 inch upwards, 1 inch downwards on the hip line and connect it straight to the waist. Why are we doing that? To avoid sharp point. You see how it's sitting perfectly on the dummy. It's not, there's no puff. So that is what this thing would help you do. Prevent sharp edges on your dresses. So guys, please pay keen attention to this part to get your knee measurement. You know, normally we would put 2 inches by the side and connect, but because of the way we are drafting, it will not work. So for this particular method, all you have to do is multiply 2 times 4. Remember, your dresses are always folded into 4. 2 for the front, 2 for the back, so that is 4. So what you do is 2 times 4, which is equals to 8. If you want to take out 2.5, you do 2.5 times 4, which is 10. So you get your original hip measurement. The original hip measurement for my mannequin is 40.5. So I do 40.5 minus 8. That will give me 32.5. Then I go ahead and divide 32.5 divided by 4. That will give me 8.125. So I go ahead and place 8.1 on the knee line of my front pattern. So it's very easy, guys. Just follow the tutorial and you get it. Place 8 and connect it to the 1 inch we came down below. Please don't forget, there's a 1 inch below. You connect it, and that is it. Then you connect your line straight down. Remember, the focus of this tutorial, I'm not teaching a mermaid skirt. I'm teaching how to give your mermaid skirt a contour, a butt lift. So I'll not be making use of the downward part. I'm going to cut it out. So I've divided the back hip into 2. 25.5 divided by 2 is 12.5. So I'm just going ahead to mark 12.5 from that the 9-inch box of my front pattern. So I roll all that into a straight line. I outline the hip line and the knee measurements. So this right here will be our CB. So go ahead and take in 1 inch measurement. I know you know why we are doing that, to create the bum illusion. Remember, if you take 1 inch here, if you're doing a gown on your zipper pattern, you take 1 inch there too. So we connect it to the 1 inch above. Please don't forget. Then to get the knee part for the back, remember we have measured 8 at the front. So we'll measure 8 at the back as well. Place your tape and measure 8. So wherever the 8 stop, measure the one that is remaining and divide it into 2. Do you get that? Measure it into 2, then place 1 at the center back and 1 at the side back. I will take it again. Place your 8 on the knee line, measure it, the remaining 1, divide it into 2, place 1 part on the center back, place another part on the side back. If you measured 8 on your knee line and you got 4 inches remaining, you divide 4 into 2, place 2 on your center back, place 2 on your side back, and rule out the lines. Remember, we are connecting to 1 inch upwards, 1 inch downwards. So what I did here basically was to measure the waist measurement, and I added 1 inch for that. I'm putting that at the back of the dress. So I'm sorry, I didn't know this part wasn't recorded. So I just basically put the waist measurement plus 1 inch for that. Remember, the waist measurement is starting from the 1 inch I came in for the bum illusion. So I did a dart leg of 6 inches and I opened up by 1/2 inch on both sides. That is 0.5 inch on both sides. So if you don't know how to draft a basic skirt, let me know if I should do a video on it. So, and this is basically it, guys. We are done with our butt lift contour. So I just take the lines straight down. But I won't be needing the downward part because I'm just doing a very short mermaid skirt. So let's go ahead and cut out the pattern, then we'll place on the fabric and take it up from there. So I forgot to come down for the front by 1 inch, to avoid tummy folding at the tummy area. So that's what I just did here. 1 inch from the waistline and connect to the side line of the waist. Remember, if you're on the big side, if the person has a very big tummy, you should do 1.5 or even 2 inches. So let's go ahead and continue cutting out. So I'm going to show you how to avoid excesses on the zipper area. So I'm going to close up the darts to be able to do that. Close up the dart for the back. So I'm going to zoom it a bit so you guys can see what I'm trying to show you very clearly. Close your dart leg just temporarily. You can, remember we are sewing a dart, so I'm not closing it up permanently. You can use a tape to hold it down. So remember, don't cut out the starting line of the skirt. We are going to use that as a guide. It's going to guide you. So we'll close that leg. So after folding it, you'll notice that the lines are no more straight. Can you see? The lines are no more straight. So you will follow the line for the side back. You just follow it and draw a straight line to the center back area. Let me do that again. This is the center back line. So you follow that line and draw a straight line straight. Then you are going to see the excesses. So I'll go ahead and do that so you guys can see. I just follow this straight because that CB line is straight. So you can see that excesses. That one is the excesses. That's why you would wear a dress and you see puff at the zipper area. So it's because you don't do this. So we'll go ahead and cut it out and go right to place on the fabric. So we're doing a seam allowance, a side allowance of 1.5 inch. Then for the other sides, the upward side and downward sides, I did 0.5 inch. I did 1 inch for the downward part because I was thinking I will fold it up, but I decided to later add a little flare to the downward part, so I reduced it by 1/2 inch. So we'll do the same for the back pattern. Place your 1.5 side seam allowance, your 1 inch for your zipper allowance, then go ahead and cut out. So guys, if you watched to this point, thank you so much. I want you to help me subscribe. If you've not subscribed, give this video a thumbs up. So I go ahead and notch the dart leg, and I've joined the darts and I've added the zip. So let me show you how to join the materials together. You can see that they are not equal. They will definitely not be equal, so don't look at that one. So just what you do is just join your materials to each other and sew on the 1.5 inch seam allowance that we left there. Don't try to make it equal, just place the sides together the way I'm showing you, like this. Just hold it down together like this. When you sew this part, after sewing it, you do the same to the other part. Hold it together and sew it. So I've done that. So let's take it to the mannequin to see how it fits. So guys, this is it. After wearing it on the mannequin, you see how sleek it is. If you do your own and you still have puff, sorry, I'm using that word, I don't know what to use, at the side, it's normal. Sometimes you can just go ahead and hold it and sew it in. So I added a little flare to the downward part and it's good. So someone might be asking if you can use it for a straight skirt. I'm sure you can use it for a straight skirt, but remember, for straight pencil skirt, all we do is 1.5 inch. Don't do 2. When you can do 2.5 is when you're working with all this bridal material, stretchy. The material is really stretchy, like velvet. Yeah, like velvet. You can do 2.5 because you won't be putting lining. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye.